Hello. Turn it down, Tad. Do I trust that my laptop is working? Not really. So when I turned it on, I did not have a blue screen, and it's doing a Windows update. It's downloading one of those security blah 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 things. I thought they were done with Windows 10. Leave me alone. Stupid. Well, whatever. This is what they do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They do all these updates and crap. Okay, so we're gonna finish up whatever we had left on Genshin to do. Why is there a marker on my character icon? Whatever we have left to do. Oh, present. So we're gonna finish that up, and then I feel like I'm talking really loudly. Sorry. And ooh, I'm tired. So I have. Sorry, my cat's after me. I have different levels of energy right now,
People
and one
ought
of them.
Not be so frightened of ghosts.
Hi, it's
They
not
are
for you. Stop
merely
it.
talking shadows, chattering away endlessly.
And one of
about
those. Let me
past
just put a
affairs.
blanket over my cat's attention thing. There we go. Yeah, stop.
Everyone can hear your voice.
Can you stop? Sorry. He's such a butthead sometimes. He has, I think he's growing his winter coat right now because there's like handful size fluffs that I have found on him from around like his neck and shoulders in the last like 2 or 3 days. So I think he's growing his winter coat right now, so I'm gonna have to brush him tomorrow. Which, by the way, I forget if I told you guys this. Last year, I went to the store and I got these like Pikachu Pokemon pajama pants. They are soft and they are cozy, and they are basically lint rollers. Every single hair of my cats in this entire house just like vacuum forms to these pants, and I wash them, and they come out absolutely coated in his fur. And so I wash them, and they don't
He
look
who
clean.
wishes to peer
They look
into
like
the
I've just
abyss
rolled around with my
needs
cat.
simply
It's
to wander
horrible.
through Nodcroft on a misty
So,
night.
goodness gracious. So I know I turned up the volume for Harvestella, and then I turned it down just now when we started for Genshin. So there is that. Let me do.
Much of the wi-
I need to do the 10 bosses if I remember correctly. Because I haven't done those. Where's the hell is the battle pass? Yeah, I haven't done bosses. I did the crafting, and I haven't done food.
be sure to drag
Okay.
him into the darkness.
Let me get the food done really quick. Usually I get the food done on like Monday, and apparently I didn't. Let me see here. What do I want to cook? What's the thing that I have a bunch of materials for? What is that? What is that wanting? Green fruit? Yeah, green fruit. God, I hate cooking food in this game because, like... Are you hiccuping? Why are you hiccuping, sweetie? This one. Because I barely have a need to use food. It's just irritating. Okay. Other than like my obsession completionist thingy. Okay, let's go do our 10 bosses. Where are you? Over here. So I have the full intention to play Harvestella. I want to do the quests that are in Eden. I want to do a little bit of fishing. I want to like do the story. I want to play the game. I am testing. I have 2 QB things that connect USB to the wall outlet. And I have a white one, and I have a black one. And they both say that they are USB 3 speed. And the white one even has like an orange doohickey attached to it. So it's like even extra special, right? Sure. Why did Farina's thing not pop?
Strike a
That's
pop.
rude. So the black one, I know, charges my Nintendo Switch controllers. Because because I have them on a little switch doodad thingy, and so they charge that way. So after stream, what was that, Sunday? Saturday? Whatever it was. After stream, I know that I had used them, right? I'd used the controller so they weren't going to be at full battery. So I plugged it into the white one to see what it would do. And like when the switch thingies are charging, my third party ones, they flash a little bit to tell me that they're getting electricity and charging, which I'm like, cool.
Bow your head.
And then they flash for like 3 seconds and they stop flashing. And I'm like, maybe they're fully charged. Maybe they're fine. I'm going to leave them for a couple of days because I'm going to do some other stuff. And I plugged them in to see if they would work about 10 minutes before I started stream. And they were at 70%. They've been plugged in since last stream, which was like, what, 2-3 days, 24 hours. The entire time with this white plug-in, and they didn't charge at all. And like I double checked, the cord was plugged in to the plug doodad, and they didn't charge. So right now, they are plugged in to the black one and working that way. And like it is so irritating to have these plugs that don't work to charge things that you want them to work on. It's super irritating. So the black one, the brand on it is like Wizard Arc or something like that. I don't know where I got these. Like they just appeared. I don't know if I bought them on Amazon or if I bought them at TJ Maxx or if I got them at Home Depot. I have no idea. They just like, they appeared and I'm like, sure, I'll use them. Cause like I'm slowly going through and finding ones that don't work to charge my phone is one. So I know the black one charges my phone. And if they don't charge my phone, I assume it also won't charge like the other thing. So I do have another outlet thingy that is charging the Bluetooth speaker that is playing music for my cat all the time, like a little radio for him. And that works. And I'm like, okay. But this white one, I don't know where I got it. I feel like I got it at the hardware store, like locally. But it doesn't work. It has two things on it. It has a USB-C and then it has a USB-A with the orange line. And like I asked recently, what does the orange line mean? They're like, oh, it's a guaranteed like 3.2 or whatever amp, whatever, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So if it's orange, right, it's supposed to charge stuff at 3.0 speeds. And like they have stickers on them that say their wattage and their ampage and all that stuff. They basically look the exact same. However, I think the white one, because it has two outlet thingies, I think the USB-C is a 3.0 speed, or at least it's releasing a 3.0 speed continuously that would maybe potentially charge. Actually, I can test that. So the cord that came with my phone has a USB, it's USB-C to USB-C. And so I have to use like a specific outlet, blah, 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 Samsung crap, that plugs into the C. And I'm like, okay. So I have one outlet and I have a cord that's C to C that would work for my phone. Yep, it's way down here. That would work for my phone. So I can take that outlet thing and I'll try it after stream to see like if it charges my phone. Cause like, that's my suspicion is the type A port is lying. I don't care that it has a little orange doodad on it. It's not 3.0 speed. Because if it was, it would have charged my Switch controllers. Freaking stupid. I have hiccups, excuse me. So they're not dead, right? Like they still are charged. They have enough of a charge. Like it did not charge them in the least. And I don't think it even prevented them from their charge going down over the course of several days. Because, like, I played for several hours. You would think that, like, that would remain at, like, 70, 80%. You'd think that that would charge up. No. know that they got electricity because they lit up and they showed that they got electricity. So I have the white ones. So bonus electronics. My headset that I'm currently talking to you guys through. I had it plugged into the black outlet so it could charge. And when I unplugged it, it said that it was at 46%. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I haven't charged it. I'm really bad about remembering to charge the headset. 46%, that sounds accurate. What is that right now? Let me see. 30%. This stupid thing's a liar. So, okay, let's say it was 46% whenever I started stream. Okay. So I went ahead and I plugged it into the black one and it started charging. When I unplugged it, before I unplugged it, it said it was at 86%. I'm like, okay, whatever. When I unplugged it, that 86 dropped to 46. And I'm like, okay. It holds a charge really well, but I'm gonna guess the 46 is accurate because I'm really bad about remembering to charge this thing until like 2 minutes before stream, and then I charge it for 2 minutes before stream. That's really bad. So the 46 is probably accurate. I plugged it into the white one, and I'm reading this 86. I'm reading it on the LG hub on the desktop. I plugged it into the white one, and it immediately said, oh yeah, we're back to 86. And I'm like, there's no way. And sure enough, as I just listened to it literally talk in my ear just now, it said it was 30%, so. Why are electronics built like this? This is so annoying. It's actually annoying. Gosh. So Star Rail did release a new mode that's like you get to play with characters that aren't your own through Divergent Universe or whatever it's called. Currency Wars, I think is what it's called. And it's fine. It's a roguelite. I want to complete stuff on there because I want the gems from there, not because I like the mode. I do like the mode in that I can do a bunch of other like things. Okay. This wheel. See how there's only 3 things on there? That is the best thing about having Genshin on my PC right now. Is I can customize the wheel to take all the other shit off of it. That is the best thing, is I took all the other shit off of it. I don't have to stare at all that extra stuff of like shortcuts on the wheel. I could take them all off. It was awesome. As soon as I figured out that I could do that, it's like a new world opened. Okay. What, Cat? He is such a baby. He has been like, so he wasn't feeling well the last couple of days. He threw up a lovely hairball, which is great. I'd rather him throw up the hairballs than ingest them and like mess with his bowel system. I know. Yes. And when he's feeling unwell or he's cold, like the outside room's cold, living room's colder right now, he is more cuddly. And so, yes, a couple of days ago at like 1, he didn't wake me up because usually he wakes me up at like 1 o'clock and he didn't wake me up. And I'm like, wait on here. Why did my cat not wake me up? And I looked and like he was sleeping next to me. And that's what it's been for the last couple of days, is him just like snuggling, sleeping next to me. I know. Okay, I have to do a couple of domains because I have 5 resins I want to get rid of. I've been doing the domain that I assume is Flynn's gear. Come here. Simply because I assume this gear will be the same as what Durin will use. I don't know. So, my intention for stream today is we're not going to do a long stream, primarily because I want to charge the headphones, and just because I'm not feeling it. But I want to get through.
Time to shine.
Me turn down the volume a little bit so you can hear me over there. Stuff. So I want to specifically. Is that better? That's a bit better. I specifically want to do whatever the final story bit was, and then that will be it. We're not going to do Spiral Abyss. I did that the other day. We're not going to do the event. If I do the event, it'll be off stream. You don't have to worry about it yourself, worrying about like you missed it and whatnot. I'm just going to do it later this week or tonight or tomorrow or something. I'm just going to do it off stream. I do kind of want to do
Silence.
I do kind of want to do the
tides beckon.
Star Rail on stream, simply because like I've really enjoyed that storyline in Greek land. That storyline has just been interesting to me. So I personally, I think I kind of want to do that on stream. But I was kind of waiting to make sure that my laptop was working, so we'll see. We'll see how she works. Yay. But it seemed fine, like once it starts up and whatnot, it seems fine. I don't know. I don't know what caused I don't know what caused it to have like the blue screens and all that stuff.
Wind strike. As one with wind and cloud.
I don't know what caused it to just be like an idiot. And like if the keyboard is dying, that's fine. I can just get the keyboard replaced. It's annoying, but like it's fine. So, but that's my goal, is getting just a little bit of the, whatever is left of the story. I imagine it can't be very much, because like we did a lot prior, and we only finished because like I needed to go to bed because I was really tired. I don't like this enemy. This singular enemy stays alive through like all of Nouvelette's blast. Like look at that. And like if I don't have Furina's burst going, he stays alive during the entire length of it. And it's like the devs went through and were like, let's make an enemy that has 2 health bars so it stays alive for the entire blast of Nouvelette. And I'm like, that doesn't feel rewarding. Is the best way I can explain that. That doesn't feel rewarding. But whatever.
One with nature.
I will also be the first to admit that I'm not in Genshin primarily for the gameplay. The action RPG blah blah blah-ness of Genshin, I'm not here for. And I don't care for the gameplay that's in Star Rail. I'm there for the story in Star Rail. Because Star Rail's story or combat, I just auto. And if I wasn't able to auto it, like when I have to do it in mandatory bosses and stuff, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy that combat. Because everything that I would do is the exact same thing the AI would do. And now I'm forced to do it myself. And I don't like that. As opposed to like... Let me kill these enemies over here. As opposed to...
Strike a pop.
The wind knows me.
As opposed to a game like Final Fantasy 1, 2, or 3, or 10, or any of those others, or 12, or whatever, those, I don't know what it is, but they felt fine. Maybe because like the turn-based feels more, I don't know, more? I don't know what it is, but the turn-based that's in Star Rail does not scratch whatever itch it is, and I don't know what it is. And it has nothing to do with like, I tried it manually and not doing it auto, and it has nothing to do with like, oh, I can just auto it. It's designed in such a way that it kind of wants you to auto it instead of playing it.
Add Astro.
And like,
Thank you for
Final Fantasy 13 is very, very close to that too. That's one reason why I haven't bought 13.2 yet. So it's very, very close to that. Okay. Over here, let me take a drink of my hot tea. Oh, it's still very hot. I made sure that I heated it up really hot though, so there's that. I did 3 minutes in the microwave, and then I did like another 3 after that. I made sure it was very, very warm because I knew that I would talk. I do have it in a mug that's it's a ceramic mug that has a wool wrap that I made, a little cup cozy around it, to make sure that that's fine. So what do we have for the events? Let me take a look. I'm not going to do them. So I kind of do want to do it on stream. It's the Layla Ruins Explorer Fieldwise thingy. What's that? Oh, it's Faruzan on a slime. Took me a second. Like, it's Paimon with a halo? No, it's Faruzan. You get a copy of Kale. Okay. That's weird that you get a statue of Faruzan, but the artwork is of Layla. Interesting. But yeah, so I have several books and stuff that I want to finish. I have one book that I'm working through that it's not slow going. The font is really tiny, so it doesn't feel like you're turning the pages as much kind of feeling. It's a really good book. Somber, very somber. So I'm going through that book. And then I have one other book that I want to get to. It's also a novel. And then like a whole bunch of my manga that I had put on hold came in. So I had like 10 manga came in. And then there was 2 that I had left over from before. So I have 12 manga to go through. They are things like, one is My Love Story, one is Norugami, one is volume 4 of Kakurikyo, or whatever it's called, the bed and breakfast for spirits. I have that, and then there's a couple of others. I think I got the first one of One Piece because I haven't ever read that. My library happened to have it. The final volume of Run on Your New Legs came in, so things like that I want to go through and read. So my plan is we'll do whatever's left of the story in Genshin. I think we're in like the last 30 minutes of it. And then whenever I'm off stream, I'm going to charge my headset and I'm going to charge my Switch controllers so that we can stream. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get through as much as the manga if I can today, but also I want to read the novel too. So like I'm going to have to like, I think, so the novel's broken up into like 3 or 4 chapters, depending on like which story it is. So the first story was a fiance and her future husband had passed away. And so the second story is a son and a father, and the father has passed away. And I'm like, I feel like I'm halfway through the son and father story. I feel like I'm halfway through it. So I want to finish that. Maybe I'll do that, and then I'll go ahead and get some manga done. Which has also been the other problem, is with my cat being so cuddly, is, one second, let me take another drink of my tea, is I don't want to disturb him whenever he's cuddling with me. And so we're sleeping later. So I woke up at like 9 this morning with full intentions to get up and like read and get stuff done and chores and all that stuff. I got none of it done. I got up at like, I know that I woke up at like 2 something and he was snuggling with me, so I didn't get up. And he finally stirred at like 3:10. And so I got up at 3:30 when he finally got off of me because he wanted like cuddles while I was awake. And I was able to get up and I got dressed immediately because I wanted to go and take care of a chore that needed to be done outside before the place closed at 4:30. So I got dressed, did that, got some milk from the grocery store because I was almost out. And then I came home, and then he and I sat while I drank some tea by the window, which we're trying to get a little routine of that going. And then I washed dishes. So like we're trying to get a little routine going, but when my day doesn't start until like 4 p.m.
Melusines are beautiful creatures.
Yeah, I'm not going to start streaming until like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So that's really hard. I don't mind. I don't mind being a night owl, but there's a couple of things that I want to do in the daylight. And I can't do the things in the daylight if I'm not awake during the daylight. So Like last night, I set an alarm for 1 a.m. to try and go to bed at like midnight or so, or like just to prepare to lay down. And I still like couldn't fall asleep for several hours. And it was, I cannot explain how frustrating that is, because I've accidentally been staying up until like 4 or 5 in the morning. So it's just exceedingly frustrating. Yeah. Also, the other reason why I'm like, this is Genshin's developers' fault. The other reason I'm not big in wanting to play Genshin constantly now, as opposed to several years ago, is their formula has changed. We used to have a lot of open world puzzles that I could figure out intuitively. We don't have that intuitive puzzle setup anymore. And there were optional domains that I could do that had puzzles inside them, like the challenges, the shrines inside Tears of the Kingdom. And we don't have that anymore. They got rid of them in the second half of Sumeru, because Sumeru was released in threes. By the third of Sumeru, we got rid of those optional domains. And I'm like, okay, you don't have overworld for me to explore for dungeons and stuff anymore. And you got rid of the optional puzzles of the domains. All that's left for me to do now is the quests, and then they got rid of the quest stuff too. Where like if I want to find quests and stuff to do, I have to like go on Wikipedia articles and stuff to find them. And that's just not rewarding. So
Sumeru's water, meanwhile,
I,
has a rich
on the one hand, I was feeling burnt out. But on the other hand, I fully recognize that the way the developers have transitioned the game from Sumeru, Fontaine, Notlon, and forward, Nodcry in my mind is still Notlon, the way that they've transitioned the daily experience for a player to do with like stories and stuff to get into the world, there's just so much less of it. I don't feel attached to any locations in Notlon, because all the locations that I went to involved like, that was the most interesting were the ancient dragons. And there's none of that. And none of it even mattered, because I'm convinced they took the boss that was supposed to be for it and they made it a story boss instead. And like Coco's corpse doesn't matter, and it's just irritating. What the hell?
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action. How can we be sure that our enemy won't leave the designated area?
Great question.
Why are we meeting here?
Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rarer and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. His conclusions are as follows. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rarer has never displayed any ability to manipulate the dimension of space. So it's unlikely he has any power in that domain. Secondly, he seems to have a particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in a fight-or-flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Thirdly, finally, and most importantly, he is consumed by hatred, both for the moon and for his enemies. Turns out, we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks, and a spy who accessed his private memories without permission. He'll be baying for blood, not looking to escape.
As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all seem like valid observations to me.
Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group.
You didn't see it, or maybe you did, but what's her face, the girl I don't like sitting next to Flynn's there in the background, she had her hands up in a clasp in front of her chest. And I don't like that because it doesn't fit her demeanor, and it's a position we saw like Kale or Sucrose sit in, and like she shares probably the model height with them, so she's probably sharing emotes across the group. It doesn't fit her personality for her to be like in this sitting pose with her hands up clasped in front of her chest, like she's nervous and focused like Kale and Sucrose.
Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail. Albedo and Durin are carrying out their part as we speak.
Plan approved. Scheduling.
Okay, any firepower you need, I got you covered.
Let's light this baby up.
I still don't like Aino's English voice. There's something about it that, like... sounds like an older woman who has smoked. Because she has the gravel... like, I have the gravel in my voice, and I've never smoked. But she has, like, a gravel in her voice. And she's trying to make her voice sound younger and also deeper. And, like, it's not working. Like, I'm not sold. Whereas, like, the Japanese voice actress who does, I was gonna say Yubaba. It's basically Yubaba. That does What's-Her-Face, the genie girl. She's a cartoon character, so she makes cartoony voices. And, like, it perfectly works for her character. And, like, I knows they could be like, okay, any firepower you need, I got you covered. Let's light this baby up. Right? Like, they could, I don't know, they could make emphasis on it. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm expecting, like, Gurren Lagann emphasis of dialogue. Even Escaflowne had, like, a good emphasis on its dialogue in English, and that was a pretty crappy dub.
The Frost Moon Scions are behind you as well.
And the rest of you? No objections? All right. Then it's settled. This is the plan we're going with. Next up, an old tradition of mine. Anyone who wants to back out, now's your chance.
Why are Dory and Aino standing? There's room for them on the sofa. Why are the two shortest the ones standing?
Wait, we can still back out of this?
Everyone
not you.
says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before their brain had time to think things through.
A very people-first approach. I hear that's common practice in the Knights of Favonius.
Heh. Who'd you hear it from? Diluc?
Shh. We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be known only as Owl, please and thank you.
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint's and I will absolutely support it.
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help. Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory.
It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. My peers usually call me Lord Sangama Bay. So, the longer your name, the higher your net worth. In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name. It's...
The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that a secret.
Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else. Do you have any idea how much it would cost to hire me otherwise? Oh, does this mean someone out there actually has the power to boss Dory around?
An Archon?
It most certainly does not. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a friend of yours.
Oh, Alice.
Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything. If I don't start building a little goodwill now, my whole business in Notcry is gonna go down the drain.
Okay. So what exactly is so special about this pendant?
It's a lucky charm that a great mage made for me. We have a business relationship, and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So, she wanted me to have something that can store power to protect myself with. I finally got it all fully charged up with Kuvaki, and then never went and used it all up at once. Never lost.
You're right. It was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the Kuvaki in the pendant, but I'll make it up to you.
You will? Well, in that case, how about you give me your chess set? And we call it even.
I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it. In fact, take it now, and I'll even throw in a free Raker of Solnari. Deal?
You're putting me in a difficult position here.
It's a very useful thing to have around, but I have a funny feeling it won't be around much longer. I guess we'll see in a couple of days.
Looks like bankruptcy for me.
Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know. You might find a new business opportunity on the other side.
Barca makes me want to go buy and play the YS Nordics game. Okay. This tea is like really fruity.
Dory, how are things going? Feeling ready? Oh, I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think Lord Sangama Bay would let an opportunity like this slip by?
Yes.
Don't forget, when something's in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher than the sellers taking advance orders. Ta-da! See? It's right here. Oh, it's so pretty. Did you make it?
I had no idea you were skilled to your hands.
No, I have a supplier. We go way back, so he made me a very attractive offer. Aha! No wonder you were talking about Lucky Charms at the meeting. You've been getting Kaveh to make them for you. That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world won't stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this on to the Dendro Archon, and she secretly brought together a research team made up of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people safe. I won't go into the details because it's all very complicated, but if you want to know more, you can ask the Dendro Archon about it sometime.
When did Alice tell Dory, and then when did Dory tell Nahida? And also, if Nahida is a god of wisdom, she would know that I'll Hate Them has downloaded the USB drive of Forbidden Knowledge into his mind. Just saying. That's
Anyway,
not going to be a thing ever.
It was the Dendro Archon who asked Kaveh to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kashara War talents, he was the obvious choice. Took him long enough. He stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. Marak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kaveh. Could I ask why I'm sending this technology to you? And what's your proposed use case? Has it been approved by the relevant authorities? So nosy. My fault for sending him the research permit to begin with.
Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous because you're always so secretive about your business.
Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope there never has to be a use case, because it would involve grave danger.
Fair enough. But it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably felt responsible as the one who made it.
Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Not sure why, though. His housemate doesn't seem to really care that much about this kind of stuff. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. I wouldn't want to be without it, given the potential dangers that lie ahead.
So I don't know why Dory is in this section of the story in Nodcry. I feel like it could be any other character, including Voxcat. And even Dory being here as opposed to like Kaveh or I'll Hate Them themselves, maybe because they're so high ranking that if they went missing someone would notice, but then like you could have sent Kale. I don't know, it just seems weird. Because she's basically acting on behalf of an Archon. And Nodcry is behaving like it has no Archon. It has no anything else. So, like, is Nahida... Is Nahida acting in Nodcry because she's aware of Rasher, who is from Conria, and Conria physically is underneath the deserts of Sumeru, which I guess you could say makes Conria Sumeru territory, like Archon territory. I don't know. We have too many
What does
questions.
that
We
look
don't know who
mean?
the royal family are like. We don't know what caused the king to be corrupted like that. We still haven't seen them. We don't know what caused them to, like, one, study the abyss, and two, release the abyssal power that they did, like Alice, or sorry, Gold. So there's too many questions.
Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the first time we've ever seen you actually get serious about something.
I will say, as a person who actively does not watch any of the YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, like teaser videos that are supposed to be for the next upcoming story arc, I do not believe that that stuff should be in trailers. I've seen a couple little bits of like, oh, here's what the four gods look like, and here's what they look like physically, and here's their names, and here's what Alice looks like because she's shown in this trailer. And I'm like, if you're going to show that information out of context as a teaser, why are you not immediately implementing it into the game? That doesn't make sense, because like I'm coming from PSO2 and Final Fantasy 14. PSO2 would do roadmaps, and they would not show something that is extreme spoilers. Like if they showed the Yamato battleship, they would just show the Yamato battleship. They wouldn't show how you got to that point, or the NPC that you fought at that point. They, like when we fought Matoi, I think the pictures that they showed wasn't Matoi. They showed like her pet fox thingy that you fight in conjunction with her. So like they didn't show the whole thing. And then whenever we got in Final Fantasy 14, if they showed something, that was going to be released in like the next week or week or two. So Genshin showing a trailer of like what the four goddesses or whatever look like, the specter thingy, whatever, that are keeping the bubble on Teyvat, showing what they look like and giving their names or whatever thingy, giving that information, and it's not in the game. And if that is then not in the game whenever we get to Durin's story, and if it's not in the game within this calendar year of 2025, what was the point of that? Because now, in my mind, you're following the same path that Final Fantasy 15 did, where you don't get to understand the entire story of Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 13 to a degree, and Final Fantasy 7 to a degree, if you don't hyperfixate and expose yourself to every single trailer, every single demo, every single art book, every single novel that comes out, every single comic. All that stuff has story and context. The worst one is Final Fantasy 15. I was thinking about this on the drive the other day, that like we see in a trailer that Noctis's father has a nightmare of that Noctis reaches the Empire to get the crystal and he dies because he went alone. And because he has this nightmare, he sends the entourage with Noctis to do the journey. Because if Noctis goes alone, he will die. And that storyline tidbit of the father having a prophetic dream, and that is the reason why he sent his son on his way in such a way that he did, that is locked to a trailer for the game. And like Final Fantasy 15 had so many jokes of like Noctis and his father spent more time together in the trailers than they did in the game. And so you as a player playing just Final Fantasy 15 don't get the same sort of like oomph, like the delivery of how close they actually are, and like the impact of the car being destroyed in chapter, was that 14? You don't get that impact because your emotional impact is to the car, not to the car that was your father's, and your father had protected. Like, it's a storytelling thing. And so, like, to me, Genshin giving all of its information and story beats in trailers, what's the point of me playing the game if all the important stuff isn't going to be in the game? Like, that's the comics and stuff with Kale and Nahida and stuff that they did, and then they made them not canon and took them down off the internet. And, like, the characters still refer to that stuff as canon. Diluc and Kaya, their past, still refer to things that were canon. The same thing with the Fire Archon was not supposed to be Mavika in her current state. It's supposed to be some kick-ass dude, I think. If not a kick-ass woman, but like warrior woman, and she's like extremely mild instead. Like, I don't know. I recognize the developers are doing things that are not interesting to me. It's the best way to say that, I guess.
Well, a long time ago, I made a promise to myself. I promised that I was gonna live every day of my life with a big beaming smile. There are always gonna be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt, returning a favor, or showing some kindness. Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had. And I want my investors to know that Lord Sangama Bay is the best in the business. And more than that, no one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever comes.
So the pendant, you never intended to ask for it back, did you?
Oh, that? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like something I'm not. My priority is doing the business that I want to do. So long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's all right. If you say I do say so, and that's the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. You'll exhaust yourself. Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with the storytelling.
Traveler, Paimon, it's good to see you.
Everything going smoothly over here?
Sort of. As you're probably aware, Varka, Diren, and I captured some abyssal creatures from the Wild Hunt. Per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures. The process went very smoothly. The findings, however, come with some troubling implications.
What? You can actually dissect the Wild Hunt?
That depends on your definition of Wild Hunt and dissection.
Harmless, lifeless. These words are accurate descriptions.
The Wild Hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality. But taken as a collective, the medium through which the Wild Hunt is summoned does appear to have a soul. Master griped a lot about the wise Horoptatyr, and seemed somewhat fascinated with the foul Certology. But she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing, though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the life form he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence. A consequence of being torn apart by an unknown power. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for a continued existence. Oh, sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinitely. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the Abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form. But in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the Abyss. In other words, he is now nothing more than a manifestation of abyssal power. Unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power. Hence, we cannot fundamentally destroy the Rayhir of Solnari either.
Well, if he's also just like a being of abyssal power, we also have the corruption of... Sorry, not the corruption. We have his curse that we have to deal with too, because he is a full-blooded Conrian, and he was cursed. One moment, sorry. One second. Sorry, a friend is asking about something on Storygraph. Come on, load. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. One second. Sorry, I'm here. She's reading a manga, and the library doesn't have the next volume, and it released this year. Excuse me. Incarnated, which, what's it called? Bell's Doom. On a second. The website. Go to browse. Drop down. And from there. I know. I'm sorry, Cat. I'm sorry. I happened to look over and I saw that there was a question on my Discord from a person who never messages me. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's terrible news. So, that's it? We can't defeat him? Not even if we get the power of the three moons?
He has the curse of immortality, you dipshit.
Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world does not accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival.
Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! This is for you. Dory asked us to bring it.
Oh my god, you stupid. There we go.
Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the trip. Durin and I will be heading off shortly.
I'm sorry I won't be there to protect you in person this time. Please be careful.
We will.
All right then. Stay safe.
Interesting. Interesting. So it is a Conrian who is cursed with immortality by the god of death. And because he's cursed with immortality, he has abyssal energy that can never be... So unless our MC has the ability to cleanse literally all of the abyssal energy from him, which we have not done anything like that. Yeah, just seems weird. It's weird.
Miss Lauma, is everyone here?
Sorry.
Yes. The fate of my flock is in your hands, Grandmaster Varka. Please keep them safe.
My lady. What are you saying?
Within the next 24 hours, we will face the biggest crisis the world has ever seen.
I like how the world crises only get responded to by not even an Archon. Like, the primordial waters coming up to destroy LaFontaine is a really big deal. And more than a dragon should have responded to that. But did the other Archons respond? No. They don't care.
This is not a burden that we deserve to bear. But I believe that we reap what we sow in this life. So I intend to act. I must do what I think is right.
The only time the Archons have gotten together to defend and save the world was when Conria ripped open a tear in reality. And 2 died. A's a sister, and, well, Nahida got kicked in the face, and the Water Archon at the time. So, like, is this as equally a bad cataclysm? Apparently not. And then also because A's sister had died, Nita had gotten nerfed. The god came in and did the curse, and they just left the Abyssal Tear smacking in to the Water Archon's corpse. They just let that go. They didn't care to resolve the matter. Maybe they can't. Maybe the Archons can't. But, like, you would think they would have had the power to. Just saying. Sorry, my friend is still talking to me.
For me, that means fighting for the future of Nodcry. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence, please follow his lead.
Hey, everyone. Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, I know my way around a battlefield. Biggest strengths are honesty and hard workingness. Anyway, point is, I don't intend to let Lauma down. I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep every last one of you safe and sound.
Does he have a vision? Are we aware that this man has a vision? I'm assuming he does. What? What? Look at this giant fluff ball that just came off you. What is going on with you? Why are you shedding big floofs? Why is there a treasure chest? Hello? Hi! Why is there a treasure chest just sitting here?
Be silent.
Mal? I know I love you too. What are you doing? Why was there a treasure chest? Come here. Can you please sit on me comfortably? Instead of just like one paw? Come on. Come on, bring all paws. All paws. Come on, there you go. I've been dealing with this daily. Hourly, it feels like. Him complaining at me. Where am I going? Dainsleif!
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you.
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif?
Yes. I take it your own name has a more complicated history.
I have a
different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least, not in the same way that Dainsleif is yours. But it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we met.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Conria, Mr. Dainsleif?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. Other times I'm lying on the ground, defeated. I don't recall any happy moments from that time. It has been too long.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. But whatever the reason, I remember little that was beautiful or sentimental. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
Has he always had that thing on his right shoulder, the blue, like, straight lines?
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
Friend? He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life. Some friendship, that is.
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us? You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a new light.
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted too. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently. Something happened that changed my perspective on a situation. A situation I took for granted at the time, but now I feel very grateful for it.
I have a side question about her design. Is her hair blue or black and red just to, like, drive home a point that she was evil? Because, like, all the rest of her color scheming is light blues and icicle colors. And then there's red in her hair. A magenta. Instead of, like the cranberry magenta, but instead of, like, Dainsleif has blue on it, with his black. Why does she not have blue with her black hair? I'm curious why they did red in her black hair.
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. But then I abandoned them. A warrant was even put out for my arrest.
See, that's the weird thing. Why do they want to arrest her when it sounds like she made a deal with the Tsaritsa for her freedom? Like, that, why would they arrest her if she finished her task for the Tsaritsa?
And even now, they still support me. Which means I was wrong about them all along.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing her help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Hopefully, talking about it will do us both some good. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello. Ah! They caught us!
Duh. We were concerned about you.
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Rerir of Solnari. I'm afraid I need a little time. But I will seriously consider joining you.
You will? Oh, thank you so much!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to eventually.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then, have a think about whether you're willing to join us.
Have a think. What a modern phrase.
It's nearly showtime! Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place.
I was thinking about how they haven't done an event again to get the Sealies again. So any new players for the last couple of years would not have these pets. And I don't even have all of them. I think I'm missing one.
Ah, you're earlier than I expected.
Hey, Flint's! Been waiting here long?
Not too long. I came a little early so I'd have some time to think.
Are you nervous about the battle?
Quite the opposite. I'm reminiscing on my past battles. When I was awakened by the Ratniki, I had not touched a weapon in many years. I felt like the battlefield was not where I belonged. But after waging war against the Wild Hunt for so long, I came to realize something. A life of absolute peace is simply not a possibility for me. My restless flame indicates that somewhere inside of me, there is a deep yearning to root out the evil in this world.
Oh, that doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
I agree.
Well, in the past, when I was a Fae whose primary concern was hibernation, it was hardly ideal. But it certainly serves me well here in the present. And I am delighted to be able to join forces with you in this endeavor.
Looks like I'm not the first to arrive.
Ah, Miss Lauma.
Did you sleep okay last night?
I struggled to settle down at first, because of the nerves. But don't worry. I got enough sleep in the end. I'll be just fine. Please, I'm just doing my part.
Never! Over here!
Llama has a really interesting design where they do things to make her hips look really, really wide, which is just kind of interesting. Kind of reminds me of, I was gonna say Chell from El Dorado, the girl native, where like they go to extreme measures to make her hips look really, really wide.
Aino asked me to relay a message. She said Anefa will be on high alert and keep a close watch over all secondary districts where defense is required, providing support as necessary. Meanwhile, Aino herself will provide range support to us directly, using her latest invention.
Excellent. My thanks to all involved.
The chestnut's looking a little unstable.
Oh, right. What's his face is trapped inside of it.
It won't hold him much longer. We should be prepared to engage at a moment's notice.
No sense sitting around waiting. Let's make the first move while we still have the option.
I agree. Paimon, find a safe hiding place.
Got it! Be careful, traveler!
I will.
I often am curious about how much of this game was voiced by the Traveler voice actors in like 2020. I'm often curious about that.
Everyone, take your positions as soon as the battle starts. Every ounce of strength we have in our bones, let us bring to this fight.
Ready?
Let's go.
I've seen all your futile ploys before. You have become the authors of your own demise.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You are merely a moment of sport before I tear down the moon.
Stay on your toes.
Yep, you too.
Steady now.
Ow. Why do I have two Gunga Bungas? That's...
Let me help you guys. Eat this!
Maybe he is a weekly boss. Two of us and I were talking, saying we didn't think that he was.
It all adds up. Can't hide the truth.
You poor lost lamb. With one heart, we pray.
Moonlight betrays you.
Why am I in water? That's weird.
Absurd. Seek within. No more lies.
Am I even hurting? I am hurting him. Okay.
Moonlight betrays you.
Sorry, I just want to look around a little bit. So we have a moon of silver on one side with like strings coming off of it. There's fire above my head? No.
The moonlight betrays you.
The long sleep beckons.
I am hurting him. It's just taking a really long time.
Close your
I'm not a
eyes.
fan of this because I
It all
don't
adds up.
have like...
Time to come clean. It all falls into place.
Pathetic.
For the everlasting forest. Forest, protect us.
It began with the moon, and so shall it end.
Where is he?
The moon will protect you.
Hello?
Leave this place.
No. What is that button? What is that?
Be silent.
I am so confused.
When will it be as you foretold?
Where is it taking you to? I'm so confused. Where am I going? I don't...
I better wrap this up.
Water jet!
Your foul spirit is not welcome here.
I have no idea what the hell that was. It didn't feel like
The
anything was
mystery
working.
unravels. It all adds up. It all falls into place.
By the frost moon of old.
Pathetic.
Can you not?
Futile.
Will you let me do Ino's piece of crap thing?
Stay your
God.
hand.
The moonlight betrays you.
The night cometh. Keep your dead be silent.
I don't like this because I have 3 Oonga Boongas in my group.
The moonlight
You
betrays
poor lost lamb. With one heart, we...
The deception ends here. No more lies. Time to come clean.
You know, like I don't know if that makes sense. Like I don't...
Pathetic.
Observe. Are you quite finished?
Futile.
Like he's attacking more than I get attacked, and that doesn't feel fair.
Pathetic.
You... Stop.
Beware the creatures of the night.
I don't like that I have like 3 Oonga Boongas in my group. Nefer, you are absolutely useless. Oh my god, I'm trying to switch to lava.
Time
Moonlight
got me.
futile.
Be silent.
Pathetic hunter.
Are you quite finished? Observe.
Your little game of heroics is over. Who wants to go first?
You stop walking away.
Get out of my sight!
No! We've been separated!
My grasp!
You okay?
Never! Where are the others?
Stuck outside the barrier. I guess he really doesn't like us.
I told you before, knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Be careful what you wish for.
Lama! Can you hear me?
Silence.
The voices are gone. But at least I know they're still there. I need to focus. Stick to the plan. Remember my most important task. Just keep stalling him. If I can stall him for long enough, the moment will come.
See, it would be really cool if, like,
It all adds up.
a,
Can't hide the truth.
one of the spires of Celestia came down. That'd be really cool. Will it?
Mystery unravels.
But it'd be cool if
It
it
all
did.
adds up.
Bombs away!
No more lies.
Can you stand near the friggin' orb of water? Come here. Where'd it go?
Destroyed.
Oh, it's a line. That's annoying.
It all adds up. Ugh. The deception ends here.
Oh my god, will you die? This is so annoying.
Yeah!
Can't hide the truth. Absurd.
Can I have a different character to play with? That,
It
like,
all adds
actually
up.
will hurt him? Um,
I've got this!
okay. Now what? Now what?
The shield's broken. I can't keep this up.
Don't push your luck.
How much power will it take?
Ow.
Can't hide the truth. The mystery unravels.
She's fun. Like, it is fun to play Nefer, but it's also, like, extremely obvious that every time I do a burst attack, it doesn't hit him with the Traveler.
It all adds
Which is
up.
why I don't play as water, because it doesn't hit the thing I want it to hit.
No more lies.
You know? I mean, I guess on the bright side, not taking tons of damage,
Seek within.
but still. I'm just mashing buttons and this doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. You know?
Wipe out!
Can't hide the truth. Time to come clean.
It doesn't feel like anything's happening, it just feels like, oh, you're just hitting buttons.
It all falls into place.
Like, okay.
The deception ends here.
Pressing buttons, that's nice, cute.
It all adds up. No more lies.
You please stay in line. Okay. The way that they could make the Traveler's doodad better is make it so that
It all adds up.
instead of it going in a line, it
Seek within.
goes to him.
Bombs away!
Like it has a
Go!
homing action. That's the way they make this better. Is have a homing action on it so that it goes to him. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Curses. There's no other way.
The only way to defeat Rarer is to borrow his own power. That means Columbina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on. Find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you.
Nefer, your eyes are bleeding.
Soon you will be powerless to resist. And then, I will reduce you to dust.
But that dust will plague your memories. Come on, keep holding on.
Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertaining as they are, you've backed yourself into a corner.
You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage. Make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. You cannot win the fight against fate, Rarir.
Is that what you think? Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid!
You fear the sound of your own name?
Is it us you hate? Or is it what you've become?
Let's see what becomes of you!
What happened to his girlfriend, though? I do wonder that.
What's happening? That power. I've seen it before.
His power is on another level. We'll need to use an alchemical array to convert his power into a usable form. Then quickly channel it into Columbina, rendering her powerful enough to compete with him.
I'll join you. I can help. If I release enough abyssal energy into a confined space, it'll create a potential difference, allowing us to extract a huge amount of elemental energy. Next, I'll synchronize with everyone's minds using Pyro, then give you temporary access to their abilities and fields of view. But it won't last long. Can you see?
Well enough.
So, we have a student of Gold Rheindotter in our midst.
How about that?
You use my own power against me?
Just like how you stole Kuvaki. Look familiar?
It's cool.
Don't you realize? You don't have the power to hold that gate open.
I don't, but someone else does.
Goodbye, Rarir.
We won.
I don't think that counts as winning. All you did was eject him beyond the false sky to the broken corpse moon. I don't think that counts as winning, guys.
Nefer, how are your eyes?
They're fine. Apart from the blindness, of course.
It's not too late.
Let me handle it. Miss Nefer. It's not like you to lose your composure. That was the most reckless thing I've ever seen you do.
Reckless how? The situation was critical. Our lives were at stake. We had to do something.
Even so. Okay. I guess you're right. Under the circumstances, it was a wise decision. You traded your eyes for an incredible victory. In business terms, I suppose that's a huge return on investment.
I'd be hard-pressed to argue otherwise.
Where's her other arm? Oh, I see it.
Still, I don't like this outcome, and I don't want you to lose your sight for good. People suffer when they make sacrifices they shouldn't have to make, whether that means faith, strength, or in this case, your ability to even see.
I would like if they left her blind, honestly, as a payment of using the power.
I had hoped you could win without sacrificing so much as a single hair on your head.
Thank you. Really.
All done. Don't try and open your eyes just yet. We'll see how you're doing in a couple of days. Until then, please follow your recovery plan to the letter. I'll send full details through Yehoda. For now, just get yourself home, relax, and rest. My dear friends, we have fought bravely and achieved a spectacular victory. A dark cloud has been lifted from the skies of Nodcry. All in this land will be grateful for what you have done.
So, it's not that I dislike Nefer and Lauma. The recap should have everybody here. What happened to Durin? Durin used a bunch of abyssal power. Shouldn't we be checking on him to make sure he's okay?
The moon will remember this day. Thank you both.
Oh, look, white text I can't read. Lovely. If you're gonna do text on top of an artistic background, make the black or gray outline around it really thick so I can read it.
There's something I want to let you know.
What is it?
When Durin connected everyone's minds so I could access their powers, I also felt everything they felt. And since Nefer's eyes were injured, my eyes are hurting now too.
Hold on. Let me try.
I only feel the pain. There's no actual damage. I just thought I should tell you.
You're right. There's no damage. That's a relief. But I must say, I'm surprised to hear the Kuthar share something like this with me. In the past, you never used to open up about yourself.
Things are a little different now from how they were. I'm learning to share how I truly feel with my friends.
Friends? You have no idea how glad I am to hear that.
Rarier wasn't defeated. Like, we won the battle, but he's not dead. He was just yeeted out into space. He could still come past the false sky without an issue. In fact, he could come in from the abyssal power anyway. Like, that's not a win.
Yay! You're awake!
Oh, shut up.
How you feeling? Any aches and pains? Did you sleep well?
I'm doing all right, Paimon. No need to worry about me.
Phew! Well, that's good. Paimon's been sitting on the edge of the bed worrying about you for 8...
Glad to hear you didn't starve. How was the food?
Well, it wasn't the same without... Honestly, Paimon just can't relax when you're not your usual self.
Well, I'm back to normal now.
Oh yeah, and Albedo swung by earlier. He said to tell you to head to the tavern when you woke up. Varker and the other. He also dropped off some medical supplies, but if you're feeling up to it, let's head over now.
Paimon needs a different voice actor. She needs a voice that is not helium based, and then I might actually care about her.
We're here! Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! We were literally just saying how there's no way we're holding this victory.
How are you feeling today?
Much better. Thanks. Don't worry about me.
See, I'm wondering how much of this was recorded in 5 years ago, because even over the course of 5 years, someone's voice will change.
Relieved to hear it. If that changes, just let me know. Happy to check you over at any time.
Yep, we're here for you. Anything you need, just let us know.
They're so cute together. The cute brothers. Cute, cute, cute.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes doing?
Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love to catch up with you.
And that little point of his finger, so cute.
We're here!
Oh, plays it over again? That's weird.
Perfect.
How are you feeling today?
Much better.
Relieved to hear.
Yep,
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
That's
How are
weird.
her eyes-
That
Nefer's
plays the
right
same
over- I'm
cutscene
sure
over
she'd
again.
love to-
I thought of 1,000 ways to congratulate you, but now you're here, words are failing me.
The honorary knight stuns them speechless once again.
Well said. The honorary knight showed us all how it's done. The other knights tell me that Mondstadt was the first stop on your journey. All of us are truly delighted to count you as our friend. I'd like to thank you for supporting the Knights of Favonius, and also for helping us save Nodcry. Nonsense! Of course I'm gonna mention it. This is more than just business. It's a relationship. And there can be no relationship without showing gratitude where it's due.
I like him. My baby!
I see you've recovered.
You bet. Snooze his way to a full recovery.
I'm doing much better. Thank you for checking on me.
Glad to hear it. A healthy body is paramount. Nothing else in life is possible without it. So take it slow. You can't afford an injury.
I'm so grateful that you decided to help us in the end.
Paimon too. You really saved the day when you swooped in to open that gateway.
I came to accept that although Rerir was my friend in the past, here and now, he was an enemy that must be defeated. Though I will never fully understand what happened between us, I could not let this crisis deepen any further. We fought a very necessary battle, and you played your part admirably.
Thank you. I know it was hard, but you'll get through this.
Yeah. And if you ever need to talk, just remember, we're always here.
I'll do that.
Pet pet. Wow, I'm taller than him. Uvalette's like just barely taller than him. Let's see. I don't care about what Dory has to say. Where's Nefer? Oh, over here.
Traveler, Paimon, are you recovering well? Turns out that moon chanter has some real talent after all. My eyes were mostly recovered after just a couple days rest. I can actually open them again now.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful.
Yes, thank you. I'm well aware.
Yehoda, could I borrow you for a moment? I could do with an extra pair of hands.
Oh, sure. Did you hear that? You bet. Make it extra sweet, because Paimon's earned it.
No, you earned nothing.
Sure thing.
You earned absolutely nothing, you dipshit.
The Raker of Solnari. Kind of a snake, don't you think?
More of a wolf.
No, definitely a snake. A poisonous one who spewed his venomous hatred everywhere. Anyone who seeks revenge out of hatred for other people has become a snake. That's something my dad used to say.
I guess he didn't like seeing people go down the path of vengeance.
Perhaps. I'm sure it sounds like a very wise and open-hearted perspective to your ears. But me? I think hatred is a perfectly justifiable emotion.
I agree.
What else is left when everything you depended on in life gets stripped away? Something's gotta fuel that drive to keep on living.
When I look at your life, I see a lot of things that you can depend on.
If you're worried about me, you can nip that in the bud. I'm not someone who gets stuck in the past. It's just... I suddenly feel like I was wrong to call my father a liar. He was just a fool. That's why the Academia turned their back on him. And why the other tribes ganged up on him. Oh, Father. How much better things could have been if you were a skilled liar.
So one thing that I don't like about Nefer being Nefer is I feel like if we were going to get a kick-ass girl from the desert tribes, it should be Jet and Ben. The fact that it is some random pretty girl who's good at business and also struggled through the tribes and stuff, there's like no emotion to her. And like they could take Jet and make her into a custom character model, like how they did Nefer and Klee and everybody else, instead of an enemy model, and make her look really cool. They could have done that. And then whenever we met her in Nodcry, it would be even cooler to be like, oh, we haven't seen you in like 2.5, 3 years. You have Ben as your weapon. So now it makes sense why you can use this magic and power of the King Deshret, because you have Ben who is tied to King Deshret. Like, it just makes sense. Whereas Nefer, maybe there's explanation in her character if you get her as a character and you do her friendships and stuff, and you get access to that story lore. But like, that kind of information should not just be locked behind getting a character from the gacha.
Look at the Ibis King. Thoth is a fiendishly cunning liar. And yet, strangely, he feels more like a father to me than my real dad ever was. He's never brought it up, but I'd bet he feels the same way. Why else would he give me the power to perceive the truth, while at the same time training me in the art of deception? Well, King Deshret banished him to Aru, which is essentially a prison, and posed 3 questions to him. He promised that he'd have his freedom if he could find the answers. His response was to take on a physical form and approach me, hoping that I could become his envoy and search for one of the answers on his behalf. Did he really think I'd fall for that? He's stuck there. He can't make me return what he gave to me. So that's enough for you to decide he's nice. He's a prisoner, and he was scared. So he decided to perform some good deeds to win people's approval. He lives in fear because he's a deceiver. How is Rerir any different? You can't work as a spy your whole life and expect a happy ending. It's preposterous. Yet I can't say I don't understand it. Liars live in the darkness of their own making. But it's still human nature to want to go on living. They say that a liar's soul is the most worthless thing in the world. What do you think?
I disagree.
Oh, really? Well, it takes a very kind person to find compassion even for liars.
I don't like liars, but I don't say that their soul is worthless.
If you ask me, the soul of a liar really is worth nothing. Because all they care about is themselves. For example, when something good falls into my lap, I don't go sharing the news around. Stops other people trying to steal it from me. So be it. They have sharp ears. I can't keep anything from them. Oh, is that what it looks like? Well, you all know my past now, and I can't simply eliminate everyone who knows too much. So I guess I just have to put up with you. For the foreseeable future, at least. When you find yourself in a situation you can't control, the safest play is to keep calm and start monitoring everyone involved like a hawk. In the intelligence world, you need to have a sense of perspective and play your hand accordingly. If you understand what's at stake, please ensure my secret is safe with you. I trust you'll respect my wishes as a friend. But don't forget, I will also be watching you like a hawk. Very good.
Oh, wait! Now that the panic's over and we've all calmed down, Paimon suddenly remembered something. After all that build-up, our mystery ally never showed up even once.
Huh? Am I imagining things?
Wouldn't it be Alice? Like, why is Paimon surprised? Even Dory mentioned Alice. And Albedo is here on behalf of Alice.
So, that close colleague who stayed behind with you? What's he been up to recently?
Don't know, don't care. I get more normal human interaction from hanging out with Bosco too than him. Although, now you mention it, he hasn't bothered me in a while. I wonder if...
If he's disappeared without a trace, it's the biggest gift he ever gave to the world. But I somehow doubt that's what's going on. He won't lie low forever. So we'd better stay on guard.
I'm not sure who they're talking about. The fowl? I don't know.
How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse, make sure you tell me right away.
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine. I mean, I barely did anything, so...
What? You're too humble, young man.
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Nodcry. We can't thank you enough for your support. Sometimes, when people praise you, it's because you deserve it. The best thing is to accept it calmly and with grace. It's important to learn how to respond to words of admiration.
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy. The pressure was on, but you worked flawlessly at lightning speed to get the job done.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though. Durin played a big part in forming the alchemical array.
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass in how to take a compliment.
Okay, yeah. I did work pretty hard to help prepare for the battle. No point denying that.
Aww.
Hey, you guys!
I just want to hug him. He's so cute.
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, Traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order at a bar now? You've sure learned a lot recently.
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy. Don't worry, I'll blend into society yet.
Paimon believes it. You're clearly a fast learner, just like your brother. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the details when you first explained the plan to us.
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's hard to grasp the principle and how the process works.
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki. And that gave us the idea of stealing his power to turn it against him. When facing an enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Columbina get strong enough to at least stand up to him in a fight. For this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the range of the alchemical array. For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But to mitigate the impact of the battle, we identified one location in particular as the ideal spot, which is where the confrontation took place. The alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. Then Durin processed it to render it usable by Columbina. That power enabled her to do what would otherwise have been nigh on impossible.
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually agreed to join us. Given his history with Rerir, he had every right to sit this one out. But we're extremely grateful for the decision he made.
Confronting a former friend in battle can't have been easy.
It must have been a painful choice to make. But I'm sure that making a decision was far better for him than staying in limbo.
Absolutely. He was torn between 2 paths, but in the end, he made his choice and stuck to it resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the sort of person who'd stay trapped in limbo for long. Anyway, however you cut it, everyone gave a stellar performance. And now, it's time to kick back and celebrate.
Oh, Mondstadters. I'm trapped! Oh, for Pete's sake, if this plays the cutscene
How have you
over.
been holding up?
It does. Oh, for
You
Pete's
don't need
sake.
to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine.
What?
You played an... Bri, we can't thank you enough for your support.
There's no way to
Sometimes-
cut through
Let's do a
it,
quick
because
demo.
how dare
Thank
they
you.
add a screen, a
Did you
cutscene
catch
skip,
that?
even to one you've already
A
seen?
masterclass.
Piece of nonsense.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, Traveler.
Sorry. 1 second.
Seems like you've recovered.
Can I get you a...
Huh?
Handling a drink...
Paimon believes it! You're clearly a fast learner, just like your brother! To be totally honest,
Don't worry. That's
La
okay.
da da da
When
da
facing
da
an
da
enemy you
da
have no
da.
hope of defeat. So, instead of looking for a way to for this to work, for added security, the alchemical that power.
What surprised, given his history with Rerir,
It must have been...
absolutely.
You know,
he was
having
torn
Albedo
between-
sitting next to
anyway,
Durin, you can tell Albedo was a 1.0 character. But like how the shading is on his hair and like the... How do I put this? Like the detail in his floofs. And the floofs of his hair. Like look. Durin has floofs in his hair and they're all basically individually designed like an anime artwork character, manga character. Albedo has the same, but they're not defined as individually. And the shading on Albedo's hair is also different. Like look, as I move the camera, the shading behaves differently with the lighting on his hair. I just think Albedo fits more naturally. Is Dainsleif still here or did he leave? Oh my god, this piece of furniture. Like he left.
Ah, Lord Sangama Bay. How lovely to see you. I must thank you for the device you provided. It was an enormous help. Would I be right in thinking that it was developed by the Academia?
why come and ask me when you clearly know already?
I mostly came to thank you.
That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangama Bay. Play your card?
The chance to work with such a kind and charitable investor as yourself would be a great honor for the Curatorium.
Huh? Charitable? Who said anything about charity? First time hearing about it.
Let's see. The first plot of land you purchased in Nodcry, your desert interests, and...
Stop! What do you think you're doing? Exposing my investment history!
It's nothing to hide from. They're all perfectly legitimate investments. And some of the land you purchased was with the intent of building a sanctuary? Yes, I heard about that too.
How?
You're a curious case, Lord Sangamabe. You don't like people finding out about your good deeds, do you? But I'm afraid no matter how hard you try to keep things under wraps, where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm
You
gonna
did
turn
it
the
for
heater on, it's
Sumeru,
cold.
didn't you?
But I can't get out from underneath my cat.
It was empty land that was gonna go to waste otherwise. I figured if I built something there, it might at least get some use in an emergency. Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. I've lost family to a disaster before, and I don't want to lose any friends or business partners if I can help it. My elder sister used to dream of finding a sanctuary. Somewhere with plenty of food, water, and medicine. Where everyone could live happy lives.
See, the funny thing is, Doria like 300
It
years
was
old.
something I looked into, but after discussing things with the Dendro Archon, I decided on a more effective strategy. The tech people handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora. It just made the most sense.
It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you view everything in terms of Mora, and all you care about is growing your own wealth.
So, what's the problem with that? Everyone wants to be rich. It's human nature.
But surely you have dreams of your own beyond just making Mora.
You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest in other people's dreams. And, you know, make a nice little slice from... Just thinking about it makes me happy.
Thank you.
For the device?
And the pendant.
Oh, that. I was just returning a favor. Don't worry about it.
Seems like we've both been away from home for a very long time.
Yeah. So long that I barely remember what my family even looked like.
That would be your mother, father, and sister?
Yeah, though it's been years since my sister passed away. It's not like I want to forget them, obviously, but memory can be even more ruthless than the most calculating business person. Beyond a certain point, if something isn't helping you, it just gets rid of it. My sister can't help me now. Slowly but surely, her face is fading from my mind's eye. It's become a vague impression.
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass away, the beautiful memories are the ones that last the longest.
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me, that's the one silver lining in all of it.
Well, that, plus, I'm sure that life is much better now than it was back then.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big beautiful house, business is booming, and I'm as happy as can be. You've got a lot going for you too. Boss of the Curatorium of Secrets? I'm sure there's plenty of Mora to be made in that line of work.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
That's the only reason you're here.
One second.
Yes, I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that you, me, and Arlecchino should be friends. I think this is very important. So I felt I had to come and tell you.
Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now.
Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being coworkers?
What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active. But if you say another word, I swear I'll shut it down.
If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point?
Paulownia, please see Lady Columbina to the door.
Will you still invite me to your next tea party?
What?
Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone.
There's a thing up on top of the building! Oh, I want it!
Last time, the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time?
We just wanted to, see how you were doing now that it's all over.
Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Rayhir of Solnari would be able to lay so much as a finger upon me, given how prepared I was.
Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
I spy books and teacups on the table.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. The visitor before you managed to kill my appetite. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste. My coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook. Look at all those calculations.
You can ignore those. They're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past. Sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper. This is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming. And writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, so I don't have to rack my brains trying to figure it all out. Huh. Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my past is probably that guy they call Lord Artificer.
Elaine?
Who else? Pretty much all the mecha in Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know him? Like, personally? As a friend?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough.
1 second. Sorry, my friend keeps messaging me and I keep feeling like I need to respond to her. I'm so sorry. Yeah?
Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all.
You're a person? I thought you were a robot.
We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have been such a waste.
So, that's where the formulas in your notebook are from?
I just told you. Those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I solve for fun when I'm bored. Alain's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little riddles in comparison. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me, 'cause I lose a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Narzissenkreuz Institute.
Did she just say Jacob? No, his name's Jacob. His name's Jacob. Oh my god.
They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them. But it was a friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics begin to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake of their friendship. But when he told me about what happened, I could tell he still had some suspicions about Renee's motives.
It's interesting that the subplot of Fontaine of the Narjan crew's Ordo is being brought up by Marionette.
Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then, the next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee awoke from his deluded dream. Though of course by then it was far too late. What do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that any price was worth paying to achieve the lofty goal of saving the world? Or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought havoc on the lives of everyone around him as he pursued his delusional dream. Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective.
I admire him. I don't know. Isn't Renee the one that tore his soul from his body?
What a cop-out. But I suspect you'd have a more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further.
What about you? What do you think about Renee?
I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect. And still managed to get himself lost in a labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, moving on to Alain Guillotin, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. But after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest friend. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone, and a human being, to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he'd barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain.
Why is she summarizing the secondary plotline of Fontaine to us? Like, it's a really long and interesting story, and it spans the entire nation. So it's neat that she's summarizing it to us. She's getting crap wrong. But it's neat that she's summarizing stuff to us. But then she's also, I don't know, ignoring like the humanity of it. And like, why does this matter 2 years after we've closed out of Fontaine? Like, he attempted, I don't remember if it was Elaine or Renee, I think it was Elaine, attempted to, like, save the world by parting everyone's souls from their bodies and going into a metaphysical plane. Something that, like, the Alhaitham character story, if I remember correctly, showed something similar with the Google lens, and then also something that was repeated in the music area of Fontaine. So, like, people wanting to separate their souls from their bodies is not a new idea. And, like, is she trying to say that she is normal in that sense, and that her soul was separated from her body into the machinery puppet that she is? Is she, like, a victim of one of these guys? And, like, we never dealt with Jacob. Jacob is still out there. His story, as you do the Narzen Cruz Ordo, was not resolved. And then Caterpillar's story, also part of their story, was also not resolved. So, like, we have other things going on.
And that is the story of two people from the Nazissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world.
Why is she saying the Institute? Why is she not saying Ordo? Is Ordo different than the Institute? Because those guys are from Ordo.
One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life, even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world? Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the world began with a very simple desire: to save themselves. They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambitions to have a successful career. They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate.
So, the corrupted water thing behind her is not the same one that we fight on the world map. Is it supposed to be a creation of Renee and Elaine? Because I don't think it is. I can read its info in the encyclopedia, but I don't think it is supposed to be it. And, like, when we did the story, we never fought that.
Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world?
Yeah.
The way you said that sounded just like Alain. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his energy into his work. He gave the exact same answer as you did. No elaboration, just a quick short answer before getting right back to his work. He was always that way. All right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.
I have questions. What was that? Frost Knight Hera. Is that the horse? No. Now! Because, like, see his eyes blue. It's not the red evil corruption that her thing showed. Frost Knight Hera. that. Yeah, it is the horse. I'm not crazy.
Shower me with pain!
Clouds high. The bird.
Let the mighty be humbled. Settle down.
I'm not crazy. Okay. Why did it go to that one? That's a weird one to go to. Sorry, he jumped suddenly. You're okay, sweetie. Oh, I forgot I haven't done more of this area. How far am I? Only got 1 out of the 3 done. Ugh. Gross.
Scenes are...
I don't know why I went to that quest, because, like, there's others before it that it could have navigated us to. Yeah, I don't know why I went to that one. It's trying to give me a character quest for this map area. What was that? There we go. Oh, World Ascension? Ha! No! I don't care that it gives gems and an orb. You're not getting me. Excuse me. Okay.
Pride of...
Oh, let me go to the teapot really quick. That was longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought we just had like half an hour left. I didn't realize we had like an hour and a half, 2 hours left. That was way longer than I was expecting it to be. It's not bad. It's not a bad story. I don't understand.
If you ever had...
If it doesn't lead into anything, why the heck was What's-Her-Face summarizing, and poorly at that, the story of the... of Fontaine, of the Narjan Cruz Ordo. And, like, she was summarizing it badly, which I guess, since she doesn't know the stories herself, she just knew Elaine, and then the rest of the stories were told to her by Arlecchino. Like, I guess that's okay, but I don't know, it just seems weird. I don't know, it just seems strange, I guess is the way to say that. It just seems weird. And, like, I'm not against her knowing the stories or Arlecchino being aware of the stories or anything like that. I'm more against the fact of, like, why are they being brought up to me by someone who is not from Fontaine, doesn't really seem to have too much interest in them, doesn't really seem like Elaine is an important character, and in her explanation she left out Jacob. And Jacob, I am 99% sure, is the one who is still alive and tried to resurrect Elinus, the dragon.
I see the value in
so,
my
like,
own work, but I also see the meaning in all the
and we didn't
endeavors of
defeat
the
him. He's
people of
just like
Fontaine.
Rerir. We didn't
I
defeat him.
believe I
We
will
just beat
continue
him
to
in
take pride
battle,
in
but we
fulfilling
didn't
my
kill him
duties.
or resolve his issue. And even when he left, he's like, "I'll be back," kind of like tone of voice. I don't know. It just seems strange. It just seems really strange for that story beat to be right there. And like none of that story beat feels like it's going to lead into the next story proper either. And like Genshin has an issue where there's so much to the world that they don't know how to properly balance out the story. So like Final Fantasy XIV, we have the main storyline, and then we have storylines to a region, storylines to an expansion, and then storylines for perhaps your class. And then we also have storylines for other things, like we want to do the 8-man raids. We're going to unlock those. We want to do the new summoning Aeons. We're going to unlock those. We want to give you another 24-man dungeons. We're going to unlock those. And those all have separate stories from the main story quest, and they're separated in a way that makes really good sense. Genshin only has 3 categories. They have main story, character quest, and then everything else. And the problem with everything else being everything else is there's no real good explanation, because what is a regular environmental region story also is part of a longer story. So like if you want to do a story that involves Stanley in Mondstadt, that is categorized as an everything else story. And then if you want to do the story for the Narjan Cruise or Doe on the quest list, it is listed as like a specialty world type quest thing. It's not an Archon quest, but it's not treated by the main story and the characters as anything different. And any knowledge that you gain from doing those stories does not get reflected in the main story. So in Final Fantasy XIV, because I did Archer level class quest up to like 40 or 50 or whatever it is at a time, and then there was like a Santa or a Valentine's Day or something that was based in Gridania, and one of the characters from the Archers Guild was taking part, and he's like, don't mention this to anybody else at the Archers Guild. I would not know him, and he would not say that text if I hadn't done that Archer quest. And then if you go back the next year to the next like Little Ladies Day, for example, had 3 years in a row where the girls referenced things that happened in previous years that you had also participated in. And Genshin doesn't do anything like that. It does that for like the big Lunar New Year's and stuff, but like if you come on and you play casually and you just enter the Lunar New Year, the characters will be talking about something not that happened with the previous Lunar New Year that you also are part of, but they'll be talking about stuff that is chronologically tied to the main story. So if you had not already gotten to the point where Durin is in a human body now, and then we have a quest event, an event that is like Lunar New Year and we're talking to Durin, you're going to say, who the hell is that? Why is Durin in a human's body? Because you haven't gotten to that point in story, because maybe you don't even know who Durin is because you haven't done anything on Dragonspine. And the closest thing you know about Durin is the first quest in Mondstadt, where Durin had poisoned Dvalin and they had fought, and that's your only knowledge of Durin. And because Mini Durin, the summer event with Scaramouche, is not in the game for you to do anymore, you also don't have any emotional attachment to Mini Durin. It just, the storyline pacing does not make sense. If you started the game today and you got from Mondstadt to where I just finished, you would be missing so much context between Albedo and Durin, Diluc and Kaya and Dainsleif and everybody else, because you'd be missing all of these timed events that had story that are important to the main story, but because they were listed as events in the quest thing, they don't exist in the game data anymore, and so you can't replay them. But God forbid they have that stuff still available in Honkai Star Rail. Just saying the devs have the ability to do this, and they're choosing not to. And I will harp on it because PSO2 and Final Fantasy XIV and Guild Wars 1 and 2 and BDO, like Black Desert Online, all of these other games retain that kind of stuff to them. The only one that's even somewhat close to having a timed story event that you cannot go back and interact with is Final Fantasy XIV, and it's like Christmas events and stuff like that, but they literally have no bearing on the actual story. If we had a Christmas event that introduced Emet-Selch and Hades, and that was crucial to understanding who they were as a character, and then we got to them in the main story later on, when you played, because you started the game like 3 years after the Emet-Selch Hades stuff, you would be missing that kind of context because you hadn't been there for that event. It's always infuriating, and I don't understand why some story beats are happening. And it's like, I am left asking the question of, why was the summary of Fontaine told to us by Marionette? Why is the summary of Fontaine even important to her? Is that trying to give us background into the fact that her soul was ripped out of her body and put into a mecha? Perhaps by Elaine? I don't know. But like, why is she even feeling the need to open up and tell us about that even? Because nothing precedes that to give it a proper lead-in. And it doesn't make sense. It would make more sense for us to have a random cutscene with Childe and having a tea party with him and us like trying not to kill him because we're so angry at him for the things that he's done. And the same thing happened in Sumeru, where no one's supposed to remember Scaramucci's evil deeds, but Paimon, for some reason, has a stick up her ass and starts treating him like he's the most evil, suspicious person on the planet. And she has no memory of him because she's part of Teyvat. And yet she has this pointy-ass stick up her butt that makes her just extremely antagonistic to him for no reason at that point in the story, because by logic, she is part of Teyvat. Her memories of him should have been erased, and so her personality and relationship towards him should have been different. And it was for like half a scene, and then she became this whiny ass little thing of just complaining constantly about him and not trusting him, and like, you have no basis to back that up on. And even once he retains his memories and becomes from Wanderer to a character that we name ourselves, he's no longer Scaramucci, he's no longer Wanderer, we rename him to something of our own choosing as the player, he gets his memories back. Paimon does not retain the memories of him. She was with us in the domain to see his life, but that none of that life thing that we saw is enough to give her such a hatred boner. And there's stuff like that where it's like, did no one think through consistency and like the actual timeline of this game? Because it just doesn't work. There are things that just don't work, and I feel the same way with Final Fantasy XIV with Endwalker. Of the big bad final boss of Endwalker has nothing to allude that she exists from A Realm Reborn 2.0, the very first quest chain. There is nothing in that that implies that she exists. There's everything in there that implies that we're going to fight Zodiark, and there's everything in there that's going to imply that we're going to fight Hydaelyn. There is nothing at all in there to imply that we are going to fight something that is not Aether. It doesn't make sense. So, I like Genshin. I'm going to keep playing it. I am definitely at that point where I feel like it's not worth it to stream it anymore. I'm at that point where, in terms of story progression, unless it's around a character that I really enjoy, Albedo, Durin, Scaramouche, Dainsleif, Neuvillette, Wesley, Lauma, one of the characters that I really enjoy, if it's not around them, then it doesn't feel like it's worth to stream it, because it doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. And like, yes, this is a game that's supposed to span a couple of years because of the live service, whatever, blah, blah, blah crap, right? But even more important, because it is spanning several years, like Final Fantasy XIV and PSO2, you need to have a timeline and a game plan and stick to it. And I've said this many times before, but I really feel like there was a turning point in the story from the writers, from Sumeru to Fontaine, and from Fontaine to afterwards. Because, like, what happened to Focalors? She destroyed the seat of the Hydro Archon in Celestia. A lot of stuff should have happened. Like, shit should have hit the fan. And nothing has happened because of that. And then we get a quest line in like the later summer of our twin even asking us, why hasn't the Heavenly Principles responded? And that was at the end of Fontaine. We've had all of Natlan. And we've had a good chunk of Nodcry now. And nothing has happened. Nothing. And like, there is no point to a game building up stakes that are supposed to have consequences, and then none of those consequences happen. Like, a single being of the moon having the power of all three moons, and then using the abyssal energies and fighting somebody and like tossing him outside the other side of the sky. Why was Dainsleif even able to open the portal? Is it because he's able to travel through portals anyways? Okay, fine, I'll accept that. But that doesn't excuse where they sent him to beyond the false sky. Like, we're gonna deal with him later on. He's not dead. He can't die. 1, he's full of abyssal energy. 2, he has the curse on the Conrians. Like, there's so many story beats that are just not... We're gonna go bigger and bigger and bigger, and instead of going bigger and bigger and bigger and getting a resolution, we're just sidestepping every single time. And we're sidestepping and going down every single time. So it doesn't feel like anything is being resolved or happening or anything like that. And it's just exceedingly frustrating. Exceedingly frustrating. So I don't know. I like the game. I like the story. But as I've said multiple times before, I don't think the devs or the writers are paying any mind. I feel like they're actually actively trying to kill the game, because I feel like some producer moneymaker dude is mad that Genshin got more popular than Star Rail, and they wanted Genshin to be like the side project and Star Rail to be the main thing, and they're mad that Genshin is the main thing and Star Rail's the side thing. And I am just so disappointed, because you don't kill your golden goose, because the people who are playing, they're either here for the gameplay, for the combat, the ARPG combat, or they're here for the story. And there's nothing in between. Even a casual person is here for one of those 2 reasons at the end of the day. They're not here for a third. Like, graphics, yes, pretty saturated anime graphics, but they're here for pretty saturated anime graphics with story, or they're here for combat. And like, you've not made the combat better. You've added stuff that make it harder, that is a challenge that doesn't make sense. It's exactly like what PSO2 Idola did where you could not do anything that you were able to do beforehand in terms of challenges if you had not been pulling on characters on the newest character. I'm unable to do certain things because I don't have Inefa. I am unable to do certain things because I don't have Ino powered up. What's that? You don't have the deer girl? You don't have Lauma? You don't have Ino? You don't have Inefa? Well, of course you should have them because they're the newest. They're the prettiest. That's called power creep. And that's what the devs years ago had said that they weren't going to do. They said they weren't going to make the game harder. They weren't going to instill power creep. They were going to do different kinds of challenges and stuff. And they're going back on the word multiple times over. We never thought that we would see our characters go beyond level 90, and yet they've released a way for our characters to go to level 100. I don't know. I'm talking too long. I need to get up and turn the heaters on and get food and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to stream Genshin anymore. I like the story, and I like what I do of like the stories and the puzzles and stuff, but there are so less of it than there used to be. Like, normally by this point, I would feel compelled to go and finish exploring an area of the map and continue finding out stuff about it and the world because it was just so interesting. I had a voracious appetite, and they've killed that desire. And to me, that's sad because you've killed my desire, my curiosity, and now I just have apathy. And when you have apathy, that's worse than hating something. Because at least if you hate something or you like something, you are feeling a strong emotion towards it. When you have apathy, Star Wars, then you don't care. You literally do not care because you have apathy for it. And that is what is, I think, going to destroy them in terms of Genshin and other things. And I say this because there's really, really good story writing with Honkai Star Rail, with the Land of Greek, with the Greek gods and the demigods and stuff like that. Every single bit that comes out. I was very bored up to that point. I was interested a bit with like the dragons and where they come from in the sky and the eggs and their life of reincarnation and stuff. That was really interesting, and I hoped that it would tie into Genshin, and it doesn't. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I just didn't care for much of the story. The Penacony, whatever, Land of Sleep, Dreamland, didn't really care much for. ITC don't care rat's butt about at all. But the Greek land is really, really interesting to me. And I have a sinking suspicion that their drive and interest for writing a really good, solid story that was in Genshin went to Star Rail instead. And like Star Rail had an interesting storyline at the very beginning, but whenever we went to the Snow Planet, I just was like, this just feels like a regular, it doesn't feel unique to me, I guess is the best way to say that. It just doesn't feel unique. And Genshin is getting to the point where it's like I said, they're giving stakes and they're giving actions that are supposed to have consequences, and then the consequences are not happening. And they're not explaining why they are not happening. They're just not happening. And it's like, what's going on? The whole point of like the being in a bubble world is you're supposed to be monitored, and then you're not being monitored. And whatever. Whatever. I'm just gonna take my irritation and move on. Yeah. Just gonna take my irritation and walk on. So, thank you for hanging out with me to the Genshin story finish. I don't know why Marionette went on a tangent about 2 of the 3 guys and didn't even talk about Jacob. Because I mean, Renee and Alan were important, but Jacob is the one who's still alive doing shit, and she didn't talk about him at all. So, just saying, that's kind of important. I don't know. I feel like I'm done streaming Genshin. I think I want to take my time whenever I stream, and we're gonna play something that I do enjoy or that I don't even know if I enjoy because I haven't played it before, kind of thing. So next thing I stream will probably be the either Harvestella, or it will be what are words? Goodness gracious. Honkai Star Rail's storyline, because I like that storyline. It's interesting to me. I want to share that interesting, curiosity, excited energy with you guys, as opposed to just disappointment. Is what it feels like. It's just Genshin is just disappointment. To be fair, in Genshin's story drip feed, I have felt disappointed since we left Inazuma, because we got 2 nations with Mondstadt and Liyue, and then we did Inazuma and it came out in drip feeds, and that was kind of like the most disappointing thing, and they've just followed that formula since then. Is instead of releasing the whole area at once, we release it in chunks. And I don't like that, because I want to be able to explore this world and have fun with this world, and it makes it feel like there's no point in coming in and playing. Like, let's say the next release is December 10th. Okay, what's the point of playing when I know that Nodcry, the map of Nodcry, will be fully released July 10th? Why should I log in and play at any point from now until July? I can just sit and wait until July and just play that. Why am I logging in and playing daily when there's nothing to do? Because they've actively made it less to do. Less puzzles, less singular instance of puzzles, those were super fun, and then no story quests to like fill out the world and be interesting and stuff, which is the biggest crime, because Natlan needed more. Natlan was just, other than the dragon stuff with the ancient dragons, the modern dragons were really boring. Other than that, it wasn't really very interesting at all. So I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I think I just want to complain. I think I haven't played this game in so long that I just kind of want to complain. And I think I was expecting more, I guess, from the final section of the storyline. I think I was expecting a little bit more. And like, I did not like how at the conclusion there, we went to check to see if Nefer was okay, and then we never pivoted to go check on the rest of our group, on Albedo and Durin, until like we slept for several days. So I don't like that storytelling. I feel like there's stuff that they could have done better, because like if I, and I've seen so many other RPGs and animes and manga and all the other stuff, during that kind of tense situation, that is what the main character would do. The main character would run off and go check to make sure everyone else was okay. The only reason that they wouldn't would be because they passed out due to exhaustion, and there was nothing in that scene to suggest the MC would pass out from exhaustion at all. So I don't know. I'm rambling. I will talk to you guys later. I have several other things I want to get done. I'm not too sure what I will stream first or when I will stream it, but I'm hoping maybe this weekend. We'll see. I have several, like I said, I have several things I want to get done and focus on besides. I went to the library and I picked up like 10 manga. I think I mentioned this before, so I have like 10 or 12 manga to go through plus the books, and I kind of want to get through those first before I let myself just like sit and play a video game and have fun with a video game. The books are really interesting. Like the manga are interesting too, but like the book that I'm reading, I really want to finish it because it's interesting, you know? All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.